world, you probably wouldn't want to sit idle. I mean, I'm going to be on a yacht. Yeah, okay, I don't own it. I just, renting it. But I'm not going to sit there with my toes up and just hang out and do nothing. Well, at least, not 24 hours a day. So you want to do something. And people who stay active throughout life, my dad worked until he was into his mid-80s and healthy and sharp. So I think part of this whole thing is we want to reframe retirement. I say, don't talk retirement, think rehirement. Constantly think rehirement. How can you be of service to other people in a way that when you have enough active work and active income, you're comfortable in living the lifestyle you want? The second kind of income is passive income. Passive income means you have assets that work. So the most common kind of passive income, stocks, bonds, real estate, hard assets, things like that, kind of business that Rich is in, that Jeff is in, the real estate business, those assets produce income. Now, let me tell you that each of you, are sitting on assets that you have not capitalized. Yes, you are. And many of you are sitting on your assets, right? Don't take it personally, Mary Jo, I do the same thing. All right? So what are assets? Beyond currency, money, there's relationships. The greatest asset that I have, in terms of real practical asset, is my relationship capital. When the old saying, the fit hits the shan or so, right? When that happens, and it happens to all of us, it was always relationships for me that have pulled me through. And so what is your relationship capital? I've literally been brought to my knees with tears in my eyes this past week about how many people have just come out of anything I can do to help. And I'm the last guy on the planet that's going to ask for help. I remember to this day my dad's words ring in my ears. He said, Mitch, if you're going to do it, you do it yourself. Right? My dad was an independent guy, cop, New York City cop, raised 5 of my mom's kids, 2 of his and me, all 8 of us on a cop salary, and somehow retired with $250,000 estate, and I don't know how the hell he did it, to tell you the truth. Okay? He was my hero. I mean, that man was amazing. But the thing he said to me, Mitch, if you're going to do it, you got to do it yourself. It was only until about 10 years ago that I realized I can't do it myself. There's nothing I can do that I can do myself better than I can do by surrounding myself with people who can support me. So the notion of doing it yourself is an old, antiquated notion. And if you're like me, you grew up, independent, no, I can do it myself. Be humble. I remember Golda Meir, some of you remember her, had one of the greatest lines I've ever heard. She said, don't be so humble, you're not that good. And I always remembered that line. It's a great line, isn't it? And so be humble enough to know that, there are people there. And this family here, I don't know of any family other than my own that I love more, just in terms of the generosity and the spirit of the people that come here. So this is an amazingly powerful family. And the thing I want to finish up with passive income too. You have your assets, I have my assets, and then there are our assets. And sometimes our assets are far greater than your assets or my assets. I wrote a book 7 years ago called The New Game of Business. If you want to read it, you can read it for free online at thenewgame.com/ticket, okay? Or just go to thenewgame.com and you can click on book and you can read the book. And one of my philosophies is 1 + 1 equals infinity. 1 + 1 equals infinity. That me by myself is just 1, right? But Basifa, me plus you equals infinite possibility. So who in your life can bring that 1 + 1? I want to be one of these ones for you. I want to be one of these ones. Because me plus you equals infinite possibility. And I want to always be available. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. You don't have to wait till you're in San Diego to call me. But if you ever need another one, I am always available 24/7. You could call me 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't care. All right? Because I realized that when I was down in the dumps and I had that 2 o'clock phone call to make, it's very hard to make a friend when you need a friend. You've got to already have them. Okay? And I know that chances are pretty good, even though I don't know many of you personally or intimately, I would have no doubt that if I were in need at 2 o'clock in the morning, I have no doubt I could call any one of you and you wouldn't hang up on me. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
So how many people do you have in your life like that? I'm certainly volunteering to be one, and you have a whole bunch of others. You just haven't capitalized on those assets yet. Okay? So don't overlook the potential power of the combination of assets, and it's not just money. Money is a very cheap asset, far less valuable than humanity. The third way to make money is residual income, and that means other people work for you, or you do like what a musician does. You write a piece of music and then get paid, or you do what I do. Over the past 25 years, I have recorded everything, all my presentations. I've got well over 1,000 hours of audio, 100 hours of video, probably more than 1,000 written documents. Because I realized early on that if I don't record what I say, it's lost forever. And you may not think you have much to say or contribute, but I would argue that if you get one of these little guys right here, these little digital recorders, and you start carrying this around with you like I do, and anytime you feel like you have something to say or something to express or something to share, just turn it on. I'm on number 55. That means I have 55 files in this one. I've already used up another one with 100 files on it. And I have somebody transcribing all that right now. All right? Start right now. It's never too late. The greatest regret I have is I didn't record my mother or my father before they passed to get all of their stories and all of that wisdom and all the funny times that we shared, and all it would have taken was an $80 recorder and just turn it on and let them talk. So I'm not going to let that happen to my life. I want my words and my feelings and my thoughts to be expressed, and if nobody hears it, but if I leave it to one person, and every day I get a call from one person who says, "You changed my life. You said something that changed my life," and half the time you don't even know it. We have no idea the impact we make on humanity every single day, just by being who we are, by expressing what we're all about. And so, how can you create residual income where other people work for you, where you create an asset? So I have all these assets, right? They're sitting in now digital form, which means they've been converted to MP3 and digital videos and PDF files where other people, and every day I give away something to people. Because for me, it's like the theory of the old rice bowl. If your rice bowl was filled up, you have no room for more. So every so often you have to empty out your rice bowl to permit more wisdom to come in. All right? And how do you empty out your rice bowl? You give away what you know. You give away and share your wisdom and your knowledge and your learning to others. And it's like a candle. You know, if you have a candle, your candle doesn't go out when you light somebody else's. You just double the brightness in the world. And that to me has always been my goal. So when you look at money, don't limit yourself to just what you know how to do. All right? And I'm